Hello everybody, Hulkrex here, and welcome to another Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere. I think it's episode 276? And today we're going to be talking about the Fulcrum Heavy Hovertank. Yep, 50 tons. It's a 1015, has 11 heat sinks, an XL fusion engine. So 10 of those heat sinks come from the fusion engine, and it's carrying an extra one because of the armament. And, I'm always not a big fan of XL engines, but if you put it in a hovercraft, hey, I'm for it. Because life expectancy anyway is like if you blow through the armor and get into the juicy innards of a vehicle, it's dead. All right. So if you're willing to spend the value on a XL engine, go for it. Which means you can speed these things up to some good speeds, which helps keep them alive, and mobility. It's like one thing I do like about hovercraft. It does carry 160 points of armor, which is very respectable for a hovercraft. You're talking about there's mechs out there that are in the heavy class that would be happy to have 160 points of armor on them. Yeah, even though there's a couple of assault mechs out there that would like to have 160 points of armor. So, yeah, there's that. Then we have for armament. Well, if you got a fusion engine on a vehicle, you might as well put some energy weapons on it. All right, so we have a large laser in the turret. We have a medium laser in a turret, which is 11 heat between the two of them, which is why you have an extra heatsink. Okay. We have an LRM-10 in the turret with a single ton of ammo. And it carries around Guardian ECM and tag. Well, tag is on the front slope though. So you got to be pointing towards the basic direction of your target to be able to get that tag to work. So it's adding a bit aspect of it here. So it's shutting down any type of, say, C3 systems. It's shutting down Artemis if you're trying to target it. So that's one thing I like about the Guardian ECM, and it comes standard on the vehicle. If you're facing off against, let's say, Word-of-Like type of thing, you go in there and it's like run a lance of these guys out across the board, and you can shut down a lot of their capability, keep them from. They just have to use localized capability. So, 2 thumbs up there. And with tag, well, if you're running anybody with any type of artillery or anything like that, tag's going to be a good option to throw down range and target something and help you get your target acquisition going on. So, hey, what's not to like about that? So it does have some good secondary optional equipment on board. Now, when it comes to the equipment, which is your main armament, obviously with the energy weapons and the LRM and the turret, you do have some good capability of maneuvering your vehicle and then turning the turret and getting it downrange towards your target. You got 2 in-close range weapons with your large laser and your medium laser. So you can be up to 1 hex away and hammer somebody with those. And then you got the LRM-10, which goes out 21. Use it for indirect fire. You can park these guys someplace and do some indirect fire. Everybody else in the Lance is doing some wonderful work with all the other acquisition equipment. So there is a good use for the LRM-10. Now, one thing I do have to say about the LRM-10, you can put 2 LRM-5s on and still save yourself a ton with the between the LRM-5 and the LRM-10 when it comes to, you can put 2 LRM-5s on or an LRM-10. And I'm always thinking to myself, why don't I put 2 LRM5s and have 2 tons of ammo? You know, that's kind of thought process. And if you're like running around with some type of specialist ammo, you have, it's like you got 24 shots. So with your LRM5, so between the two of them, you're going to be shooting 12. Well, how many shots do you get with the LRM10? 12. So you're not out anything. Typically, the average damage with an LRM10 is 6, and 2 LRM5s is 3. Add those together, 6. So I don't see the problem with running 2 LRM5s and running 2 tons of ammo with that. So I can put 1 specialist and 1 standard. Yeah, specialist ammo may depend on what area you're in. Some people might like to use thunder rounds, some, you know, or smoke or something. You know, it just depends on what era you're running in, what kind of extra, you know, or campaigns you're playing, what you might want to throw into the mix. And so there. Basically how I would use these guys is with a speed of 10-15, they can go down a flank really quick, hop onto an objective fairly quickly, and then sit there and park and wait for somebody to come towards them, or, you know, move along a flank and then have someone else spot for them, and then they just raining down LRM fire indirectly on a target or a long range target while everybody else is jocking in for position. So you got that. And later in the game, when things are really getting smashed up, these guys can go into and hit a flank really quickly, because with a 10-15, you can displace really fast. And it's like, let's say you're facing off against some assaults, and let's say you got an assault, like an Atlas that has a bunch of open spots on, let's say, the right side. These guys, let's say they're already on the left side, they can swing around really quick and get into the right side and funnel the shots into the right side, and hopefully get more crits or take off body parts a lot faster, because between a large laser and an LRM10, you're typically going to be doing 8 to 14 damage, and if you're within medium range, you know, you got the medium laser that can be tossed into the mix too, and you multiply it by the number of vehicles you got. Well, you know, who's to say that's not going to be a chunk of damage being tossed about? Now, the one thing is I think these things go for about 1,200 battle value, if I remember correctly. Let me check, see if they got the battle value here. Yeah, it's about 1,200. A little less than 1,200. Now, there are a couple other versions of this one. You got the Fulcrum Heavy Hovertank number 2. Comes out in 3067. Retains a tag in the Guardian ECM. Drops the large laser in a heatsink for 2 additional medium lasers. Alright, so it doesn't need the extra tonnage there. So there's 3 tons for the dropping of the large laser for the 2 medium lasers. You got 3, and then you got the heatsink, that's 4. And what they do is they have 3 medium lasers on board, and then you have an SRM6 with a ton of ammo. So that makes it a close and personal type of vehicle. And it's kind of like something similar to what I was talking about. You still got the LRM10. So it's not like it's out of a lot of damage capability. It's just that range band of damage is moved in closer. You know, instead of 10 to 15 range with that large laser, now it's just 9 and less. So, and it's slightly more expensive in the battle value. It goes up about 50 more points, 60, somewhere in there. So, yeah, later on in the eras when you could have a Mark II being running around with a couple Mark I's or something of that nature. Intersperse them about. And then there's the Mark III version. Okay, this one is a refitted upgrade, basically. It is equipped with a snub-nose PPC, an MML7 rack, and a C3 slave with the tag and Guardian ECM still retained. And then it puts on ferrofibrous armor. Alright, so, and it's still roughly just slightly more expensive in battle value, just like 20 more points versus what it was the original. But with the snub-nose PPC, you're getting a little bit more capable than the large laser. And with the MML rack, obviously, if you're running 2 tons of ammo with that thing, well, what's to not like about that? And you got the Guardian and the tag, but with the addition of a slave, which means you're going to have some type of command vehicle. And I could easily see a command vehicle with a Fulcrum is drop the large laser and replace it with the C3 Master. So then, obviously, firepower goes down, but then you're still retaining the LRM-10 or a pair of LRM-5s if you want to retrofit those with smaller racks. So that would be something to look at. But with the Mark III there, with the snub-nose PPC and the MML7, that's going to be a fairly capable vehicle, especially with the speed. Get in, get out, and then hammer it home. Then we got the Fulcrum X. Okay, this was developed by Johnson Industries during the Jihad. Experimental system on board. It carries a pair of clan medium pulse lasers. Okay, there's 8 heat, a single mag shot in the turret, and a single mag shot covering the rear arc, or the front arc. And it has the tank's main defense weapon system is high speed. It has a supercharger on board, so it's kicking out some good speed, getting around really quickly. And it has a Angel Guardian ECM system on board. All right. So, in case of enemy fire doesn't hit the tank, it's protected by 9.5 tons of reactive armor. But that all comes at a cost. You're looking at 1,700 battle value. So, yeah, you're looking at the cost of a lot of mechs. You know, so are you really going to be taking that into the battlefield? It's got some good capability, but it's still a vehicle. And then we got the Fulcrum Hybrid, trades the XL engine for a standard fusion engine. This one has the cost of the clan-made medium pulse lasers was so high, so a pair of mag shots in her turret. And then another covers the front arc, and then it has hybrid. The Fulcrum X has a hybrid. The hybrid uses armored motive system, or armored motive systems, and a supercharger. So it hits the speed of 170 kilometers, which is flying pretty good, considering that that's an 11. Yeah, that's speed 11. Ooh. That's just cruising speed's 11. 7, 11. Yeah, so you're looking at 11, 17. Yeah, you're getting around pretty fast. It's gonna run down. It's like, hey, I'm sorry, you're in a what? A generator? Let me just chase you down and run you over like a speed bump. And oh, we just ran you over. I'm sorry. We were just cruising. Yeah, there's something to look at there. That might be something. It's like even with an XL engine, you put an XL engine and maybe drop one of your weapon systems, you can speed up the Fulcrum even faster. So, yeah. Now, that brings up a good point. If you want to gain yourself an extra ton on this vehicle, go ahead and toss on a ferrofibrous armor on it, and that'll give you an extra ton. And you can throw that as another ton towards, let's say, your LRM-10. So you could have 2 tons of ammo for the LRM-10. Maybe think about specialist ammo. Or you could drop the medium laser, and let's see, that's 1, 2, 3 tons there. That maybe put a SRM4 on. You know, think about that. Or here's another good one: is 2 LRM5s. There's a ton there. If you wanted the specialist ammo, go that route. If you didn't, take that extra ton, go ferrofibrous armor. There's another ton. Drop the medium laser. There's 3. Heat sink. There's 4. You can put an SRM6 on board. So there, things to think about. And you can really do some crit hunting with that one. So you got up close, and it's not really a bad deal replacing the medium laser, because that does 5 when you have a high potential of up to 12 damage with the typically you're going to get 3 or 4 hits with the SRM. If you hit, that's 6 to 8 damage. But it's spread out, sure, but I think it's a better deal running with the SRM6 versus the medium laser. You already got a large laser on board, taking care of the heat sinks. Yeah, you're wasting 2 heat sinks. So if you really feel like you're really wasting heat sinks, maybe drop the large laser. It's like, obviously you could go with the snub-nose PPC, or you could put a just standard PPC on board. I'd rather use the large laser, because it's with the speed on board, this thing, it's not an issue getting closer. And there, they got that. So that is the Fulcrum Heavy Hovertank. Not bad. Might be something if you don't have one, do a proxy. Take a few proxy ones out and give them a shot on the table and see how it comes out for you, and give them a whirl. So that's the Fulcrum. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share with friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Craig's out.